I got another video for y'all. This is after Lockup Season 3, Episode 26. Let's get into it. So, Mike tells Sarah what he been dealing with, which is not shit. Not a fucking thing. But at first, I was like, you know what? Let me get this nigga a little bit of leeway because everybody go through something. I'm going through a situation currently, which is why I've been struggling to put out these videos. But now I'm just going to do it. And if it's ratchet, nigga, it is what it is. If y'all niggas see, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I'm on the note shit. Like, I really don't give a fuck anymore. Like, I just got to make shit happen. But that's besides the point. I'm thinking to myself, like, oh, everybody go through something, so let me just give him a little bit of leeway. Let me hear him out, because who's to say, you know, not wishing this upon nobody in his family, but he could have had a loss in family. It just could have been anything. So I was like, open ears. I was like, you know what, let me not jump. Like, let me just hear him. Only for this nigga to bring up the relationship that he had with Maria. Nigga, that weak ass relationship. Nigga, and that's all that you was going through, a tough relationship that, mind you, you optionally chose to be a part of and indulge in. Niggas can't feel bad for that. Niggas won't feel bad for that. I won't. It's not I can't. I can't and I won't, nigga. This is stuff you chose to do. Like, and it's one thing too if, like, I mean, you and your situation with Sarah was toxic. It was because of you, but you and your situation with Sarah was toxic. But the difference is, like, nobody is going from a toxic relationship and or situation and is entertaining another one. Like, if it was so bad to the point where it's like, it really damaged you, where you was like, man, I can't, to the point where, like, you don't feel like seeing your kids, because this is his excuse. His relationship with Maria is essentially his excuse for not showing up for the kids, which is lame as fuck. Like, oh, you didn't see me because I was going through something. Nigga, what was you going through? Nigga could have said anything, because nigga, if anything, if I was that nigga, I would have played my role. I'd have been like, shit, nigga, I'm sleeping on the streets. Shake you were. And I told her I was hungry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I appreciate the honesty, I guess, but it's just like, come on, nigga, that's not a good excuse. And then it's like, it's one thing if you didn't know, or it's one thing if, like, Maria was showing herself to be a cool bitch and then ended up the tide just turned. But it's like, bro, the signs were there. Nobody who's coming from a toxic relationship or a situation is going to, it's going to be a turnoff for your next bitch or for your new bitch to be talking about being aggressive or beating up your old bitch. Not because you still have feelings for your old bitch, but you might have some respect for her. But it's also just because that's just drama. It's not even about respect for my ex bitch or my old bitch. It's just about drama that I don't feel like fucking dealing with no more. That's the whole reason I stopped dealing with that bitch. It's because it was drama. Even though, like I said, he was the drama, but still, I'm just, follow me. Sound like, nigga, fuck out of here. So that's that. So Amber and Puppy, you know, wake up in the morning, and Puppy's mom is cock blocking. She like, oh, don't. She's like, no Cuddy. Like, y'all can't get no Cuddy. What was y'all doing last night? What do y'all see for the future? And it's like, bro, they just got out of prison. Like, is they gonna fuck? Of course. But they was doing that in prison. So it's like, you not even gonna stop that. But I think that the mom is trying to, like, put too much on it. Like, all Puppy and Amber know is they, like, fucking each other, and they've been cool with each other for the longest. But they got that type bond where it's like, well, first off, they're both girls, and girls, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to phrase this. I feel like women can be friends, and, you know, like, that's okay for them. For niggas, like, nigga, you just gay. Like, you can't. Nigga, you gay. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's y'all. I don't do that. That's y'all. But yeah. But for women, it's like they can be lovers and friends, right? So I say that to say, like, Puppy's mom is doing the most, trying to ask him about woo woo, and it's like they have the tight relationship where it's like, whether they're together relationship wise or not, it doesn't really matter, because they're going to be together on some, we've been friends for this long, you've been riding for me as hard as you have, I've been riding for you as hard as, you know what I'm saying? Like, vice versa. They riding off of that. So you trying to stop this shit ain't gonna stop this shit, because they've been seeing each other and fucking with each other way more than, like, they've been fucking with you or you've been fucking with them. They spent many, many nights together. So it's just like, it's almost like talking to a brick wall, but go ahead, do what you want to do. And in Amber's confessional, while she was talking about puppies, she ended up getting a call from a nigga, and she was like, "Oh, like da 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 da. When's your release date?" They asked who it was. Of course, she didn't say shit. She not on a federal type timing, but yeah, they she wouldn't say who it is, but she got a prison nigga. But my thing is like, you have to understand. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, but my thing is like, you gotta understand, if you are surprised or if you were surprised when you've seen that, you gotta understand that like prison people, they don't have the ambition. Most, not all, most don't have the ambition or drive to go get their own bag legally. They will do it illegally, but legally, they don't have their own drive or their own ambition to go get their own bag. With that being said, that makes it to where who can they get money from? They parents or they family ain't finna keep just letting them leech off of them because they know them. And I know like, hey, you gonna keep asking for money and you doing this and your pattern not changing. You not trying to get better. You not trying to get released. You know what I'm saying? So why I'm finna give you the bread? So that makes it to where they find new dumb niggas and new dumb hoes who's desperate for love and relationships, and they start just selling them a dream. So they have a whole team of niggas or a whole team of bitches. That's why it's so funny that they be like, oh, well, when you come out, we gonna get married and da 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 da. It's like, how did you fall for that? So like at our big age, your ass is still getting sold a dream, but not even a good dream. Like this is a dream that's like, you might wake up and you might just be like, eh. Your dream is of you dating a prisoner? Like that's the dream? This is the life. Hold on tight. Like what are we talking about? Like it doesn't surprise me, but it's almost like when Scott when Terabelle and Lindsay were in the attic and they were like, oh, Terabelle was like asking Lindsay like, oh, you think they know about you? Say so. I don't think they know. She's like, oh, does Scott know about me? Or like know about us for real? And then Lindsay was like, no, not yet, da 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 da. But I'm just like, that nigga should know. Like he should assume that. Most bitches that go to prison, if not all bitches, are either A, already gay, or B, headed down that road. They're headed down that aisle. Or they was just curious enough to try it and do it. So it's like, what are we saying? Like, y'all just gotta use common sense. Just think for 2 seconds, and it just really, like, fuck out of here. So Chevelle, remember how she said she was going to Jalen Brunson, Swenson's. She's actually going with her cousin. And she tells him about like her date with Jay and her sparking that back up. And of course, you know, with the cousin being the cousin, he's familiar with Jay, knows Jay. By his reaction to her entertaining Jay, I assume that the cousin likes him. And him and the cousin either have a great relationship or are just familiar with each other from a distance. I'm not sure. So yeah, she told him about Jay, but it was funny because she was like, yeah, like Jay's just, he's just a man. And like, he does all those things I've been looking for. Like he pulls out the chair, he feeds me. Bitch, he pulls out the chair and but this is why I tell y'all don't be surprised, and this is why these people are ending up with prison people, because anybody with actual criteria, anybody with actual standards knows that somebody in prison doesn't feel and fit those standards. Like you've been fucking with bums. You've been fucking with bums for so long. It's entertaining that a motherfucker, and don't get me wrong, like it's a first time for everything. So I'm not telling you like, oh, hey, be like, oh, like nigga, as you should. Like, no, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying like, for you to be like, oh, where have you been all my life, and then all the nigga did was pull out the chair. It's like, come on now. Like that's the bare minimum. Like we cannot, no. We won't be accepting the bare minimum. Nigga pulled out the chair and fed you at our big age. Y'all asses is almost 30, pushing 30, and your dream man is a nigga who pulls out the chair for you and fucking feeds you. This is something that you've been looking for all your life. When y'all, and then also too, hold on, stop that. While we on that note, when y'all say that, I really be wondering, are y'all blind? Because it's like, the stuff that y'all say y'all been looking all your life for is stuff that you could literally walk down the street and pick a random motherfucker and then, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. So, in the end of the episode, Brittany and Marcelino are trying to find Brittany's mom because, like, after the little therapy session where they kind of bump heads, she was nowhere to be found. So they trying to, you know, go on a scavenger hunt and go find her. Hopefully nothing. They didn't end up finding her at the end of the episode, but hopefully, like, you know, she's okay. She didn't end up abusing drugs or just abusing drugs again. Or, you know, hopefully she's, like, not disappearing somewhere and just going to completely ignore them forever. Because Brittany really, you know, you could tell not only by the therapy sessions, but just, you know, with her completely changing her life around from being released to now being, you know, a mother and a family woman and just trying to do things the right way. You could tell that, like, Brittany really wants to repair the relationship with her mother. So, like, that's why I say, well, I also say I hope nothing happens to her just because, like, that's a human being, y'all. But then I also say that shit too because it's just like Brittany is really, you could tell, like, she really wants this for real and she wants to work towards it. And it's just, you know what I'm saying? It's just not going her way. But anyway, yeah, that's the end of this one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Share, catch your